everybody on Furry Friday. We had no furry guys, so we were using Fluff and Tough. And Olivia will be right with us. We've got Ella and myself, Carly. We are coming to you guys again on Facebook and TikTok. So if you see us looking back and forth, that is why. But what we wanted to do today is we've got, well, you guys already know, if you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, we have got a really, really cool new line coming. We are so excited about this, you guys. Wait for our last clue. That's when we tell them the final big wow.
Oh, I was just about to say
I know, that's why I had to tell her. So the final clue is coming next week. We're hoping that the new line will be here next week. We're super excited about that. But in the meantime, we have also brought in some new products from existing lines that we carry, but they're new. Some of the things that we want to share with you are not necessarily new, but a new type. But these are our favorite products. So we wanted to share them with you so that we could tell you why they're our favorites. And if your floof needs these things, you know where to find us. Or we could point you in the right direction. At least you know what you're looking for. And if you have been on the hunt for something cool for your furry guy, but you're like, I have nowhere to find this, or what about this kind of thing? Throw it in the comments, and as always, we will go through and we will answer those questions. So,
we have one comment to start.
We have.
I ordered Open Farm and can't wait for our dog to try it.
Yay!
That's exciting.
Open Farm, of course, is one of our favorite products, the only kibble that we sell, you guys. And yeah, we love it. And we've got some stuff working out with Open Farm, so stay tuned for that as well. Okay, Ella, you're gonna go first.
Yeah,
she's gonna show you one of our new products that she loves.
They're these guys here. So we literally just got these in, and by literally I mean yesterday they got in. But these are the Mandela enrichment trays from Sodapop dog toys. So if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen me posting all over there. I also posted Rue's breakfast in these guys, but I love them so much. So they're not a plastic like a typical slow feeder. These are actually similar to like a Kong or a West Paw. They're actually a lot gentler on their teeth. They're not going to harm their teeth. So really great. They're washable. I find they're really fun for slow feeding. So they work for kibble or for raw. So that's what I'll do is I'll put some raw in there or some little kibble with some bone broth and freeze it. It makes a perfect little summer enrichment toy because it cools the dogs off and it lasts a long time. So these I've been waiting for and I'm very excited about.
And they're food grade. That's why, so we can get away with, they're not going to break, but they're not that typical plastic bowl that we don't ever want to feed out of.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Okay. I'm gonna have the whole collection soon.
I'm gonna go with one of my new favorites. We did get these in maybe a month or so ago. These are the Messy Mutts bowl scrubbers. They are silicone. You guys, I am now using this for every dish in my house here and here and at home. I'm always using this. What I love about them, okay, first of all, we all know that sponges are like some of the most bacteria-ridden, filled icks in our houses. So I wouldn't recommend using a sponge to clean your own dishes or your pups. These are silicone. So the best thing about these is when I use it, I just throw it in my dishwasher and I get it cleaned and sanitized. It's got, you can see, it's got kind of a more heavy-duty side and then a light scrubber side. But I use these not only to clean Zahner's dishes, but my own. I use them here, I use them at home. They come in 3 different colors. Of course, I went with teal, you know the drill. But these are super cool. I didn't think they were gonna be this cool until we got them in store and I thought, I'm gonna try it. Love these. I'm by myself now, you guys. Ella and Olivia will be right back, but I'm going to show you. This is another new product that we just got in. Oh, hang on a second. I should maybe look at some questions here. Sorry, you guys, bear with me. Is there a difference between frozen raw and freeze-dried? Yes, good question. So freeze-dried raw technically is a dry enough food that it is shelf stable. It's raw food that the moisture has been removed by freeze drying the product. So that's how the moisture gets removed. Freeze dried raw is kind of the second best thing that we can buy commercially for our pets if we're not buying raw. Freeze dried raw though is a very expensive meal option. If we're feeding a furry guy that is over 10 pounds, freeze dried raw is probably not an affordable meal option, but a fantastic topper. So you just take it and you crumble it up. And if you've never seen freeze dried raw, a really good explanation for it, it's kind of like space food, right? If you've seen those freeze dried options for us where all the moisture's gone, you can rehydrate it, or as soon as you pop it on your tongue, all the flavor comes out. That's why the furry guys love the freeze dried. Claudia says happy Friday. I hope you feel better, Claudia. Catherine says I'll be ordering that too. Hello, ladies. Happy Fur Moms Day, everyone. Yes, that is coming up, Maria. That is next Saturday. Next Saturday. And right? Okay, I only went here.
We've got Jim Kirkpatrick saying, good stuff, guys. Hopefully we can team up in the future.
What do you do, Jim? Tell us.
I'm intrigued.
I'm interested. We like teaming up with all the peeps.
Jen_Cooper, the service dog, says, hey. Hello. Why doesn't my dog like Kibble?
Is it all kibble or is it one kibble? Have we been feeding the same kibble for a long time? We'd have to know a little bit more, because sometimes, typically kitties are more the texture, temperature guys. Puppers not so particular. But if they've been eating the same food for a long time, and depending on the type of kibble, they may just have what is referred to as food fatigue. So that could be it. Okay, I was gonna jump into this, but want me to? Go for it. Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about one of my new favorite products that I will be using with Zaner. If you are on our email list, you would have got my novel that I sent out yesterday about all of the ways that I work to protect Zaner during tick season. These we are so excited to get in because these are called tickless. I know it's backwards for you guys, so I apologize for that. We've got them for pets and we've got them for people. So Zaner gets one and I get one. And essentially how these work, no chemicals, no fragrance, no toxins. They emit an ultrasonic wave that is supposed to kind of put a bubble around you from ticks, fleas, and dust mites. So, Zaner, of course, wears his amber collar. Zaner also uses his essential oil bug spray, as do I. I don't wear the amber collar, but I do wear the bug spray. And now I will also wear the tickless. And in my email, I also talked about we have a delicious smelling natural shampoo that is a bug repellent shampoo, but it smells so good. So in the ticks during tick season, that's what Zaner gets his baths with. So there are a bunch of different ways that I try to prevent ticks and fleas on Zaner without having to use chemicals. So again, we've talked about this previously. When we're using natural remedies for flea and tick prevention, they're not potent like chemicals. The good thing about that is they don't harm the animal. The other thing about that is then we want to use multiple approaches. We want to come at these fleas and ticks a variety of different ways because we're not putting any toxic chemicals in or on them. So they're not potent. And that's why we want to double up, triple up, quadruple up, and that's why I am. So that's why we've got the collar, that's why we've got the bug spray, that's why we've got the shampoo, that's why we've got the ultrasonic. How cool is that, you guys? That's like space age stuff. Ultrasonic tickless. So that's a new product we just got yesterday. I'm super pumped about that.
And super cool thing with the natural alternatives, lots of them like the collar and the tickless, they'll last you multiple years. It's not like your conventional pill where it's lasting you a month, maybe 2 months. So
I know that we're not doing flea and tick, you guys, but so when we totally sidetracked. When we sent out our email yesterday, one of our customers actually called. We live in Saskatchewan, so we have about a 6 to 8 week tick season. temperatures have to be just so in order for the ticks to survive. And yes, they are already out. So yes, you want to be doing preventative measures to not get the ticks. What is it?
It's an invite to go live together.
Oh, interesting. Okay. We had one of our customers phone. So if you live in Saskatchewan, you know that we get 10 months of winter. Well, that's what it feels like anyways. But we don't have ticks for 12 months. And we had one of our customers call yesterday saying that every 3 months, her vet is giving her dog a tick pill.
So it's just around there.
Don't need it. We don't need it in the winter time.
That poor little dude. And so if we are in an area where ticks are like wicked and we need to do some conventional methods, we recommend a blended protocol where you're doing as little conventional as you can with the help of natural. And if we have to use conventional methods with toxic chemicals, we want to detox the liver for sure, because the liver is working hard when chemicals are put into the system. So we recommend milk thistle, or we recommend Adored Beast's liver tonic to help detox and heal the liver after having to ingest and process chemicals through the body. I don't know if my liver's on this side. I could be completely wrong. But anyways, you know what I'm saying. Okay, sorry, I'll get back on track. Back on track here. We're back to our favorite products. And
We have lots of comments coming in, but we're gonna kind of try to get through some of these products, I think, and then probably take the questions.
Ella's a taskmaster, you guys. She's a taskmaster.
Or else we get very sidetracked.
Wait, she means me.
Well,
She means...
Carly gets very sidetracked. So this is my next favorite product. This is the Protein Plaque Off Powder. Can you see me on both screens? Oh, there it is. Protein Plaque Off Powder. So this is going to be backwards to you guys. This guy we just got in the actual powder, but we've been carrying their tubes for a long time. It's essentially a kelp. So this is a powder that you add to their food. It goes into your little furry guy's body. It helps to dissolve pre-existing plaque and tartar to the point where if it's just on their little tooth, you can just scrape it off with your nail. So this is really, really good prevention and treatment of plaque and tartar. So we'll do both. So if you've got a puppy that you're not wanting to have dental problems with, this is your guy. If you have an older dog who already has plaque and tartar, this is your supplement here. So this is a huge jar. This would probably last you a couple months if you had a big guy, even more if you had a little guy. So this is one of my favorite products. Oral hygiene is so important for the floofs, cats or dogs.
Huge. Because you guys, if you've seen any of the statistics that we have posted regarding oral health for the furry guys, by the age of 2, the number is almost 70 to 80% of dogs or cats are suffering from some sort of dental disease. By the age of 2, you guys. So dental health is key. I'm going to steal one of Olivia's.
Or you got yours?
Well, no. Oh, okay, I'll just do mine. Taskmaster, you guys. Taskmaster all the time. Okay. Messy Mutts, again, we just got these. They came yesterday?
They came yesterday.
They came,
No.
Wednesday. You guys, these are the Messy Mutt travel bowls. And what I love about these, so you can see that it's got a lip. So this is what I use in my car. I have this from before, but we just got them in store. So I use this in my car. So when Zaner, if we are out and about in the summer and it's hot out, and of course I'm taking a bottle of water, he needs water too. So I put the water in here. It sits on my floor, the floor of my vehicle. But now as I'm driving, it doesn't spill, it doesn't splash, and it doesn't tip. So he still gets water without me having to get water all over my floor. See, now they're leaving me again. It comes in both the teal and the gray. It does come in watermelon too, but you know I love my teal, so we get the teal and gray. But these are fantastic for traveling, or even if you're going camping and we're going to be putting a water bowl either in the trailer or the tent or outside in the camp yard where we're not used to having a water dish. These are very tough to kick over when we've got water in them. So love these. So, sorry. Okay, I'm just going to take a look so that I don't go through all of the products myself. I'm going to take a look at some of the just looking at the comments, you guys. Okay, is the red tickless better than the black? So I think we answered that. The black is for pets, and then the red or orange one is for people. And yes, it would be good for people because that's made for people, Catherine. Sorry, TikTok guys. I'm just reading some Facebook comments. And what is the price for the people tickless? I think they are $69.99. But they last for 2 years for us. The dogs are supposed to last for 12 months. But again, we're not using it for 12 months in Saskatchewan. So it's really going to depend on your, on the area where and how long you're fighting ticks for. So, okay, my sister rescued a Chihuahua and a blue lacy mixed puppy. Oh my goodness, that is very exciting. So if I'm getting into raw feeding, should I go with frozen raw over freeze-dried raw? This is entirely up to you. So you could absolutely start with some freeze-dried to start incorporating different proteins, different types of food into the diet. If we're already feeding dry, we would definitely recommend that we increase the hydration by adding some bone broth or some goat's milk. If we're feeding freeze-dried raw as a diet, we always want to rehydrate the food. So either with bone broth or with goat's milk. We can do it with water, but there are so many health benefits to including bone broth and goat's milk. That's what we always recommend. The other option is you could start to just incorporate some raw. We always say, you guys, a little bit of raw is better than no raw. So if you just want to add a little bit of raw to your diet, that's really good too. This is the way that I always explain it. Even if we can only do adding some fresh whole foods to the bowl 1 day a week. Think of it this way. If I eat nothing but McDonald's 7 days a week, and on Sundays I've decided I'm going to home cook. I'm going to make myself healthy homemade meals. I have improved my diet because now I'm only eating McDonald's 6 days a week. And I'm eating healthy home cooking 1 day a week. If I now do that 2 days a week, I've improved my diet again. So our pups are the same. If we're feeding dry food, any time, any number of days that we can incorporate fresh whole foods into the diet, we are improving their diet. So if you want to start with freeze-dried in the bowl, or if you want to start with raw, you can do either. I have a, oop, I just did the thing.
Did it scroll all the way to the bottom?
I have different brand of kibble. I don't know.
That's for the person that was asking, saying my dog doesn't like any kibble or something.
Okay.
Or he or she has probably tried different brands of kibble.
Okay. Then you might want to try a different type of food, maybe an air-dried food, maybe a dehydrated food, or adding some fresh whole food. You guys, we can add 20 to 25% of the bowl can be fresh whole foods. Okay, we'll get back to the questions after Olivia. Olivia's going to show us some of her favorite products.
Okay, I'm going to start out with the super, super cute ones. These are my absolute favorite. So these are just some examples and some of my favorite, but this is from the brand Fluff and Tough. So these are stuffed animals for your dogs. They look like basic stuffed animals, but when you feel them, they're actually pretty thick, I guess you could say. The stitching in them is really, really good. We've had German Shepherd parents say that this is the only stuffy that their dog will not wreck. So they're super, super cute. And they are also doing a fundraiser coming up here. I have my notes to tell you guys about it. So from June 8th to June 30th, they are doing this campaign where every time you hashtag give a fluff on any social media, so that could be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, they will donate one of their toys to a dog rescue. And in the past few years, since 2015 I believe it is, they've done over 7,000 toys. So you guys can join in on this. We're definitely going to join in on it. And yeah.
They're just a durable. No toy is ever going to be indestructible, but aside from being super cute, they're a very durable, soft toy. If I was going to show you Rue's Krusty Kangaroo, Little Miss Rooski, this is her kangaroo. Since we brought Fluff and Tough in, Rue has had this kangaroo. She drags it around the store. She plays tug of war with people, with dogs. She doesn't want you to get it either. It's a little bit crusty, but other than that, that's just from her slobber.
Yeah.
It's in pretty good shape.
And Rue is a 60-pound dog. She's a big girl. I'll play tug with her with that toy. And you know how normal toys, you'll hear like a little seam rip or something? I haven't heard anything. So there's nothing, none of the seams have even ripped yet, which is really, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
Again, I'm
Next.
going.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys get through all of yours?
I got through all of mine.
I have one more for
Oh,
you.
yes, and Ella. Okay, well, do you want to do your last one, Ella?
Sure. Yeah, you go
Okay.
for it.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're still doing 2 back to back.
This is my favorite. I would say this is my absolute favorite product. This is by Carnivore. These are their ground sprouted seeds. I love them so much. I use them every single day with my dog. Essentially, when dogs are in the wild, the first thing that they will eat when they kill a prey is the stomach and stomach contents, which is great. They're full of natural vitamins and minerals. But that stomach contents is pre-digested plant matter, which is what this is mimicking. So sprouted seeds, sprouted pre-digested seeds. So they're super, super bioavailable for your animals, meaning they can easily absorb the nutrients in this food. Their body doesn't have to do any extra breaking down, not food, supplement processes. So this is a really good guy for just like a general additive if you're feeding a raw food. That's what I do. If you have a dog that has GI problems or a cat with GI problems, cats with hairballs, anything like that, the ground sprouted seeds are working so well, so well. So Carnivore, if you've heard of that brand before, they use their sprouted seeds in their actual dry whole food nuggets. But this is just basically it pulled out into a supplement form. So any sort of animals with digestive problems or you're wanting vitamins and minerals, this is a great way. You're not going to be able to read this, but those are all the vitamins and minerals in this supplement. So this is a whole food supplement. I find lots of dogs respond really well to it. It also helps with yeast because it's pre and probiotic, digestive enzyme, all those lovely things.
Goodness.
I love it so much. It's my favorite. I'll never go without.
I use this with Zaner every day, and I am happy that smoothie season is now upon us in Saskatchewan because it will be going in my smoothies as well. All human grade, you guys. We can totally have it, and it has just as many benefits for us.
Yeah.
All right, Miss
Okay.
Olivia.
Next one. These are so good. So I am a big candle lover, and this just adds to my love so much. So these are just 2 examples of the candles from, they're called One for All Pet House. They also have other things as well, which Carly's bringing. So they now have the wax melts and the room sprays as well. These are all completely natural. The candles themselves are made of soy wax. So we know it's safe for our pets. They are using natural essential oils that are safe for the pets, stuff like that. They are odor eliminating. So if you have any kind of pet odors, in your house, this will definitely help get rid of those odors. And they also last up to 60 hours for the big ones. So they last a really long time. And my last product, we have been waiting for these for so long. We've kind of known about these for a little bit, and they're finally here. So
They just came yesterday, too.
let me get it so you guys can see it all. So these are just 3 of the 5 that Open Farm has, but these are the new supplements from Open Farm. These are their new chewable supplements. So it literally shows you, that is how big the chewable size is, and it says it on every single container. These have different things. So like this one's calming, this one is immune, that one is hip and joint. They also have skin and coat and a probiotic as well. So any supplement you want, they pretty much have. They also have QR codes on the top of the lids. So if you want to look up an ingredient, if you want to look up just extra benefits of it, right there. Super easy to use. So excited to have these in store.
These are going to be great for the furry guys that we want to include supplements in their diet, but they're like, Mom, I am not about the powder or about the tinctures or any of that kind of stuff. These are just going to be like a treat.
Yeah.
So we're just going to give them their supplements. It's kind of like a Flintstones vitamin for kids, right? Like they love to eat it because it's a little fun Flintstones vitamin or those gummy vitamins. So same kind of thing for the furry guys to get supplements in. Or I'm thinking about, for me, With Zaner, I put supplements in all of his meals. But when we're traveling, that requires me to take a heck of a lot more things. So I can just take a little jar of the different supplements, and then he's just going to get treats while we're on the road instead of me having to supplement the meals.
Yeah, and for a 25-pound dog, these supplements would last 90 days because there's 90 chewables in here, and a 25-pound dog would get 1 chew a day. So even for a little Zaner guy, these would last forever.
Yeah.
Literally forever. So, and I don't think they have to be refrigerated once you open them.
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I don't think so either. I don't think we talked about that, but we will definitely find out.
Yes.
We will know before you buy them, but we're super pumped that they're here. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, you would have seen it on our story. I put the picture of the great big beautiful display. So, okay. We'll go back. I'll look at sounds amazing. I'll be getting that dental powder. Nice. Love the candles. They smell so good. You're so right, Claudia. I cannot wait. The little waxy that I brought over here, you guys, is the blueberry. Oh, I can't wait for,
These ones.
If you could smell this through the phone, wow, then you'd all be licking your phones.
Yes.
It's just so good.
I can even smell through the package
Yeah.
right now. Like, it's just delicious.
So delicious.
Major
And we love I have so many candles because before I knew anything, off I would go and I'd buy my great big nice smelly candles, and then I learned how toxic those are for our pets. So again, if you're on our mailing list, you would have seen that everything that I do in the store, at my house, outside of my house, I try to eliminate or reduce Zane's exposures to toxins as much as possible. So I probably need to have a garage sale or open a candle store because I have a ridiculous amount of candles that I will not burn because they're not pet safe. And what makes them pet safe, the one for all candles, the reason they are pet safe is because, like Olivia said, they're made of soy and they're naturally fragranced. When we're buying candles that are not specifically made to be pet safe, they're made of paraffin wax and they're synthetically fragranced, and that's where the toxins are coming from. So that is why we love the one for all. Those are the only candles I burn now, and so yes, I have to have a garage sale to get rid of all of my candles.
I don't have any pets at home, but I still buy them every time we get more in because they're just so good that I seriously cannot resist myself. So
Catherine is asking, are all the new items you've showed us on the website? They absolutely are, right?
yeah.
Yes, they are. I only put a couple of them in. Ella was doing the rest. So yes, all of the new products are on the website. If you're unable to find them, you can just search in the search bar for whatever you're looking for, whether it's the tickless or candle or what have
And
you.
that's not even all the new products that we had come in. We have lots of new treats in for both dogs and cats. We have lots of new cat foods as well.
Different licky mats as well that I didn't show. But
Yeah. So there's a bunch of new stuff out there, you guys, on our website and in store. And then super exciting is the new stuff, but we can't tell them the last clue.
The
last
very
clue.
big one.
The very big
I
one.
almost spilled it.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's coming, you guys. I also want everybody to know that we are going to be doing another fundraiser for rescues. So watch for this. It is called the Great Rescue Race. Stay tuned for all of those details.
No running involved.
No running involved. No, I would not do the running. They would do the running, but I would not do the running. Okay, do we want to go through?
Where were you guys at? Here?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's where you were.
For commercial raw, what brand do you guys prefer? Primal, Stella and Chewy, small batch?
I think they're in the States because they said small.
Would be in this, you'd be in the States. So we can't get all the same things that you guys can in the States. We can get Primal and we can get Stella and Chewy's here. We have chosen Primal because Primal uses natural vitamins where Stella and Chewy's uses synthetic vitamins. Synthetic vitamins are harder for the body to absorb where natural vitamins are absorbed. That is why we chose Primal over Stella and Chewy's.
Yeah, cool.
I have a new puppy and I'm not sure if I want to go for a raw diet or kibble or both. Well, it sounds good that you're like questioning what you want to feed. It all depends on your lifestyle. If you're gonna go for kibble, make sure it is a premium kibble, and then you can always top with raw. You can always add in fresh foods. Your best bet when it comes to actual quality of food is a raw diet. So it's up to you whether you want to do a little bit of raw or all raw, but both are going to be suitable for puppies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, depending on your brands, make sure you're picking good brands because there's crappy brands of both.
And your budget as well, right?
Yes.
As long as it's budget friendly to you,
Yes.
you're good.
Yeah. Do you use Wondercide? You looked into that.
We did look into it. At this point, we can't get a distributor for it, I think was our bigger, or we don't use the distributor in our area that carries it. I've heard good things about it, but I have no personal experience with it.
Where is your store located? We're located in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. 73850 Green Falls Landing.
Green Falls Drive.
Green Falls Drive in Green Falls Landing. I need help. I have a new black lab puppy, 9 weeks old, super bad dandruff and flaky skin.
What is he eating?
Yeah,
That's
the
your
first
first
thing.
thing.
Yeah, start with the, if you go on our website, scroll to the bottom, do the little hold quiz.
What grade is my kibble?
What grade is my kibble?
So
And
free PDF.
There, yeah. So we've got the free PDF on the website at the bottom of every page. What grade is my kibble? It's not electronic, you guys, so you can't fill it out on your phone or your computer. You would just have to like either print it out or follow along and write down your answers. You want to make sure that you are feeding a premium dry food. If you're feeding dry, that means that it is protein rich, it is nutrient dense, it is low carb. Then we can improve that diet by adding bone broth, adding goat's milk, adding freeze-dried raw, adding some raw, adding fresh food from your own kitchen. But if we've got dander, chances are good that it's everything we see on the outside is a symptom of something that's going on in the inside. Our animals, as well as our own, but our animals' health starts in our gut, in their gut. So if we can get and keep the gut healthy, we can get and keep the animal healthy. So when we see dandruff or dander, it's usually an indication that there's an imbalance in the gut.
Also, important thing to note, if you're like, I'm feeding a quality food and I'm doing all those things, likely you just got your puppy because it's 9 weeks old. It's gonna take a while to see those results. You're not gonna see them next day. So do give it a couple weeks to really show. Make sure you are feeding that premium food. But puppies do go through that. I went through that with mine too because she was on a crappy food before I got her. It takes time for that body to expel that and get used to the new food.
Yeah, so they go through a little bit of a detox. So if you're moving an animal from a not great food, which unfortunately, whether we're rescuing or breeders, it's expensive, right? So they may not have the best food when they first start eating. But I just lost my train of thought. Oh yes, the detox. They go through a little bit of a detox. So when you move them to a better food, we almost start to see the symptoms improve quickly and then seem to get a little bit worse and then improve again. That detox takes about a month to get all of that stuff out of their system. But another thing that you could absolutely look at including with your diet, regardless of what you feed, is bone broth, because bone broth is so good for skin and coat. Or you could look at some sort of an omega-3, 6, 9 oil like an algae or a krill oil.
Or Open Farm's new
Skin and coat.
There we go. Okay, this is a two-part question. I live in a super bad tick area and the essential spray isn't effective. What would you recommend using? Part 2. And if I do use the monthly preventatives, what type of detox is needing? So if the essential oils are not working for you, I would say double, triple up. Like use the amber collar. Also do like an ultrasonic as well. You can do those weekly, bi-weekly baths with an insect repelling shampoo as well. Try those steps first. If it's still not working for you, you might have to move to a monthly preventative. Check to make sure your monthly preventative is only for ticks. We don't want to kill every bug under the sun because then we have more pesticides into that preventative. So make sure it's only for ticks, maybe fleas if you're wanting that as well. And then make sure it's a short-term one, because lots of times we have tick seasons that ours is 6 to 8 weeks, but it's really only bad for a couple of those weeks. So if you're kind of in the same boat where you only have one bad month, but there's a month of mediocre on each end of that, only do it for the bad month if you can. Then do your detox as well. So you're gonna wanna do a milk thistle or a Door to Beast liver tonic, and weeks it is afterwards. I think you do it for 3 weeks after.
I don't remember. Milk thistle can be in the diet all the time because it heals the liver, but it also helps to detox. But Adored Beast, I'd have to look to see how long it is.
Yeah, but they'll have instructions on their actual product. So make sure you're picking the proper preventative if you're gonna do that, and you're detoxing afterwards.
The other thing you can do too, in order to get kind of additional support with regards to doing that blended protocol, is to find an integrative or holistic vet in your area. If you are unable to find anything other than a conventional vet, and no diss at the vets, but our conventional vets are trained by the drug reps who come in and say these chemicals are perfectly safe. We need somebody who understands. You need to have a vet that is aligned with your personal beliefs. And so if we're looking at a vet that we want to look at the whole body, not just the fact that we just want to eliminate the fact for ticks, and so we give this pill, but we're looking at the whole body and the impact that those chemicals can have on the body, we need a holistic or an integrative veterinarian. If there is not one in your area, Dr. Katie, who you will find her on social media and her website as the Natural Pet Doctor, she will do phone consults. That applies for Canada and the US. She does phone consults no matter where you are. And she can help you figure out that blended approach to preventing fleas and ticks.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, I just scrolled to the very bottom. Wow, okay. Pet House is awesome. Yes, we love their candles. Should the sprouted seed supplement only be used for dogs with GI issues? Nope. My dog doesn't have GI issues, but it's a natural pre and probiotic and a digestive enzyme, so it's good for everyday support.
I don't have GI issues as far as I know, but I'm excited to start putting it in my smoothies.
Yes, it's a really good way to get those vitamins and minerals into your dog's diet as well. Super easy digestible. It's a good overall supplement.
Yeah,
There's not many of them.
it's something that, like, I use it with Zaner every day. When we were having tummy troubles last year and we couldn't figure anything out, and that's when I started including it into his diet as a really good source of fiber. In 2 days, I couldn't believe the difference in my dog. Bright, full of energy, and perfect poops, you guys.
Yeah.
So it is fantastic. It's a fantastic product for them and for us.
And if we are going to give it to them or even us, we want to make sure that there's some type of a liquid in their food. So if you're feeding a raw, you don't necessarily need to worry about the liquid aspect, but if you're feeding a dry diet, there needs to be a liquid in there so that they can ingest it instead of sniffing it up. Yeah, because that's not going to do any help to them.
No,
so.
it might hurt.
Yeah.
Do you have a dog? I have a dog. Carly has a dog. Olivia has yet to get a dog, but she will
Hopefully one day soon.
We're working on her parents.
If I am trying to add more variety, would you guys recommend air dried or gently cooked more?
Both.
Yeah.
So be the mad scientist in that bowl. As much variety, as much as you can diversify that diet, the better. So air dried, freeze dried, raw, dehydrated, gently cooked, have at her gradually.
Yeah.
So if we've never done this before, we want to gradually introduce new foods to the furry guys. But as they get used to it more and more, we can include more and more and more variety and just have that diverse diet, because who wants to eat the same thing every day?
Not me. Not me. Okay.
Unless it's chocolate, then Ella will eat it every day.
Yes, that's a different food group in its own. What supplements do you recommend for a cat? I guess it depends what we're going for.
Yeah.
The sprouted seeds are really good for hairballs, so if you're dealing with that, they're good for that.
Any supplement that you can pretty much give to the dogs, or especially for from what we have, you can also give to cats as well.
What we recommend too with supplements, whether it's a dog or a cat, is a supplement rotation. If you were to ask me what I would say I want to see in the food every day, I'm going to say mushrooms every day. Whether that's mushrooms that we buy from the grocery store and eat ourselves, or it's a mushroom supplement, mushrooms should be in the bowl. Broccoli sprouts are another really good beneficial option in the bowl. And then, like what I do with Zaner is I rotate his supplements just like I rotate his proteins and his foods. So supplement rotation. So I wouldn't say pick a supplement and stick with it for a lifetime. I would say figure out your supplement rotation and include that supplement in all of the different meals, rotate to the next.
And what you're trying to address as well. This is a good, Carly talked about broccoli and broccoli sprouts. This is green Rover from 4-Leaf Rover. It's a powdered form of, let me make sure I'm getting this correct, broccoli sprout powder and a whole bunch of fermented greens. There's like probably 8 here. So this is a really good one for cats because cats can be a bit more finicky with their fruits and veggies, not wanting to eat them. That's where the powdered versions come in really handy. You can hide them in wet foods. So that's kind of a good bet if you're wanting to add in the mushrooms or the sprouts.
Carnivore is also coming out with a new blend of sprouted seeds that includes broccoli seeds, and we're super pumped about that
Yes.
too.
What supplements would you recommend for a dog on antibiotics? Do you want to take this one, Olivia?
Once again, it kind of depends what you're on the antibiotics for, but we definitely need to do some type of detox if we're on the medication for, I would say if you're on the medication for a month or longer.
God, I hope not.
Yes, but usually medication for them, it's just kind of like, should just be like a short-term fix, but the medication is only going to solve it for a little bit of a short period of time. Whereas if we can find something naturally that'll help long term, that would be best. What Ella has here, which
This
is
is
that?
love bug. So this is
Yes.
a pre and probiotic. Because you're on antibiotics,
Yep.
you need a pre and probiotic. Antibiotics kill everything. They kill all the bacteria,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad. It doesn't have a way to differentiate. So after antibiotics are running their course, oftentimes we see dogs or cats having a lot of digestive problems or issues that they didn't really have before. This is because it's destroyed all the bacteria in their system, which is great if they have bad bacteria, but now we need to replace it with some good stuff so we can get that good bacteria growing again and it's able to help them, their gut health. So this is a powdered version. Carly's got that guy.
This is, so what I was also going to say, just like what Ella was talking about, oh, where are you going? Because we're serving antibiotics, and the reason that antibiotics can really mess with our gut health is exactly what Ella was talking about, because the antibiotics go in there and they kill all of the bacteria. Our furry guys require some good bacteria in their bellies, so we can put some natural probiotics back into the system if we are on antibiotics. And that is, we are always going to recommend getting a probiotic during antibiotics and after antibiotics. Make sure that we're incorporating some sort of a probiotic back into the diet.
Yeah.
And the prebiotics basically seed the gut in order for the probiotics to grow the bacteria. So
Yeah.
this is why Ella is suggesting a pre and probiotic blend, but
Yeah.
at the very least, probiotics when we're on antibiotics.
And these don't have to be added just when they're on antibiotics or just because they're having stomach problems. These are great additives for every single day. I know myself personally, I take a probiotic every single day because it's so beneficial for anybody. So
Which you could take the Adored Beast.
I could take the Adored Beast, I could take the sprouted seeds. I already do chia seeds every day too, so I'm getting my pre and my probiotics.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
My vet recommended Hill's Science Diet Puppy. Is that good? No, we don't like Hill's Science Diet here. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this. We don't ever want to come off offensive, but there's always a reason why we do not like foods for specific reasons. So Hill's Science Diet Puppy, we can look at the ingredients, we see a bunch of byproducts, we see meals. It's not a meat-based food. Dry
And it's
food,
high carbs.
it's high carbs. So dry food is the most processed option we can give our pets.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, meat isn't even the first ingredient. Like, we're really straying from what an animal needs. So you see these jars here that Carly's got. In a traditional kibble is gonna have 50 to 75% carbs, which turn to sugar by the dog. The dog does not need carbs to live. It doesn't need carbs to thrive. You will see some people argue this and say, oh, well, they have, they've changed, they're domesticated. Yes, they're very different than wolves when we look at them, but their entire digestive tract is the exact same. They don't have that requirement for carbs. Essentially, they go into their system, their body goes, I don't know what the heck to do with it, then it either pushes it out the skin, creates more waste product. That's where we see skin problems. It's just not a good thing. So we want to go to low carb. That's why you see lots of people wanting to feed raw, because it's low carb. It's little processing, low processing. So if you're going to stick with dry, look for a dry that is low carb, high protein, and nutrient dense. Meat-based food. We don't want to see meals as the first ingredient or byproducts as the first ingredient.
Or byproducts, period.
Yeah, byproducts.
Yeah.
We don't want to see byproducts.
We got a TikTok coming so that we can explain byproducts,
Yeah.
you guys. But essentially, and this is the unfortunate part about prescription food. Prescription food falls into that economic kibble category, nutrition-wise, not price-wise. You're probably paying twice what you'd pay for a premium food for a prescription food that is made with lesser quality ingredients, high carbs, low protein. You'd be better off to switch to a premium brand. The analogy that I use for this, you guys, those traditional kibbles and prescription food falls into that category of grocery store traditional kibble. It's like us eating McDonald's every single day. It is the most processed food that we can feed them. It is like us eating McDonald's. When we move to a premium food, it's kind of like we've traded in that greasy burger and fries for a sub. So it is still a processed option. We're never going to get away from that if we're going to feed kibble. It's always going to be processed. It has to be kibble. But we can certainly make sure that the kibble that we're feeding is a premium quality, and then we can improve that kibble.
Yeah. Perfect. Why does it do that to me?
Just bumps you.
Part 2, they're Yorkies and I feed Go Solutions to older, but it's too big for the new babies. I want to see what that is part 2 to. Pet house is awesome. I only see your one comment before. Part 2, they're Yorkies and I feed Go Solutions to older, but it's too big for the new babies.
So this is the size of Open Farm. Open Farm is made for all breeds, all lifestyles, life stages and sizes. So it is small enough for the little guys to eat. Carnivore, same kind of thing. They have what they refer to as their Easy Chew recipe, which are a little bit smaller than their normal recipe, which was a little bit bigger and a little bit harder. The Easy Chew is just a little bit smaller and a little bit softer. Yeah. If they're Yorkies, and I know a little bit about one, those, I live with one, right? So because he's a tiny guy, he's 5 pounds, he eats a freeze-dried raw diet. And then I rehydrate that with bone broth. I put all his supplements in, I put his blueberries or his vegetables, whatever produce I'm getting, he gets. But freeze-dried raw is an affordable option when our little guys are less than 10 pounds. Now, if you came back and said, well, I got 6 5-pound Yorkies, freeze-dried raw is going to be an expensive way to go, and then I'd probably just go raw.
Perfect. What would you recommend to get a dog to gain weight? I have an 8-month-old blue heeler. I went through this with my herding breed dog as well. They do this. This is their thing. You got to feed them a lot.
Yeah.
My dog was, I think she was 40 pounds at that point. I was feeding her as much as an 80-pound dog. Because they are working breeds, they're used to eating really high calories. So make sure you're feeding the right amount. Carly's also brought over this. This is kefir. Kefir is a really great way to help dogs or cats gain weight. It is a healthy fat. It's very easily digested. Kefir is a fermented cow or goat's milk. So make sure
Healthy calories.
Healthy
Yes.
calories. Make sure you are getting a pet safe one. We don't want the kefir from the grocery store because the kefir has artificial sweeteners from there. It also has different ingredients and it's not raw. Raw is a lot easier for the puppers and cats to digest. So that would be best bet. The antibiotic is for 14 days for a wound because my dog got attacked by an off-leash dog. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That is awful.
So, yeah, that's no good. 14 days is still a long time for antibiotics, but it's necessary, right, if they were attacked, especially if they were hurt and they're trying to heal. So it's critical that you're going to get some probiotics into the diet especially when we're taking antibiotics for 14 days.
We have a question on Facebook. I'm going to pop over there. I have a 5-month-old puppy, a corgi. Where do I start with raw and how do I know how much to feed?
Well, I have a question back. One of the two things. we're going to team up with Doodle Dogs in Calgary, who is a store that we learned about on Instagram and through TikTok. They are very much like us, which we love. So, oh my goodness, I'm going to go on a tangent. Okay, we're going to try to create a community on TikTok that is like-minded folks. Those folks that are into and all about pet wellness from that more natural, holistic side of things. We want to create that community. Doodle Dogs would be part of that community. We are going to do a live called Raw Feeding 101, which would explain these very things. How do we start? What do we do? What's different? All of the things about raw feeding, because there are lots of questions if you've never done it before. And the other thing that we are putting together, again, if you've been on our website, we do have a lot of resources on there. We currently have 2 electronic downloads. We've got our puppy guide, which is extensive, you guys. It's about 80 pages, and it is everything you ever needed to know about how to feed your puppy, train your puppy, socialize your puppy, go to the vet with your puppy, all of the things. Bringing them home for the first night, what do they need to know and do, and what do you need to know and do? We also have our electronic nutrition consultation, which kind of just gives you more information about nutrition. These are both downloadable PDFs on our website, but we are in, Ella didn't want me to tell you this. I'm breaking the rules, I'm going to tell. We are going to put together a Raw Feeding 101 downloadable PDF, which will be there as well. So you tell us, is that something that we haven't started yet? And if you were to tell us in the comments, no, that's a terrible idea, then we're probably not going to start. But if you told us, yes, that would be something that I would use, that would be something that I would want, let us know in the comments so that we can get to work on Raw Feeding 101 as a PDF.
Quickly to go back to the TikTok question from before about how they mentioned how they were on the antibiotics for a cut because their dog got bit by an off-leash dog. These are some of the things that we always recommend. So just a nice natural topical that could help them. We are on antibiotics, but we could also help it naturally from the outside as well. So you could do something like a Manuka honey. You could also do something like a healing lotion. That's kind of just the easiest way to explain this. I use this on myself all the time. It works great. This has a little bit of hemp in it, so it just heals it that way.
You could also mix a little bit of slippery elm with your Manuka honey to make a bit of a paste to heal from the outside as well. Or you can feed slippery elm with your Manuka honey to like soothe the sore throat, kennel cough, that kind of stuff, but you can make a paste. Slippery elm is amazing, you guys, for all of the healing properties that it has both inside and outside of the body.
So is Manuka honey. It's antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral, wonderful for healing, like especially deep lacerations.
Honey itself, normal honey that we would eat, has a lot of medicinal properties, but Manuka honey is like that honey on steroids. Yeah. So it's just amped up with the healing properties. Yeah.
Are there natural preventatives for heartworm/parasites, or do you just use the monthly preventative?
So I would probably, it's a 4DX, right? The test that we're asking for.
4DX.
4DX is a test that I would ask for my vet, and I would do that at my annual appointment. It's basically to check to see heartworm. Now, it may be different in some areas. In our area, well, no, heartworm almost has to be the perfect storm, because a dog's natural immune defenses will fight off those parasites. If he is bit, first of all, the mosquito has to be infected with heartworm disease, then they have to bite your dog, and then the eggs have to go through the blood system and get to the heart. But a dog's natural immune system should prevent and ward off these types of diseases. But you can ask your vet to do preventative testing in order to ensure that if any of these things have occurred, we can get a head start on it right away. So I do not give Zaner heartworm meds either. Yeah. And what was funny is, I should mention, my old vet, who was just a traditional vet, and I like them. They're just very black and white, right? So it didn't align with my personal beliefs. I want to look for that natural approach. When I don't have to use conventional medicines, I don't want to. And my old vet was very black and white. It's conventional meds, and that's the end of the story. But I was taking Zaner to Arizona for the first time, and she suggested that I do a heartworm pill. And of course I knew nothing. I didn't own a store. I had no idea. And I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, what is this for? Like, Arizona must have these weird bugs that I don't know about. Well, she said it's if he gets mosquito bites. And I'm like, so in the province that I live in, our national bird is the mosquito, or our provincial bird is like, we have so many mosquitoes here. There's not a mosquito in Arizona. And she prescribed heartworm pills for me to go to Arizona, and I didn't know any better, and I did it. And when she said it was because of mosquitoes, I thought, why have I never been told to get heartworm meds before? And I literally live where you could, like, mosquitoes are everywhere here in the summer. They're nowhere in Arizona. Yeah. So I don't do it.
What is a good weight management food? There is no such thing as a good weight management food. Yeah, it looks so good on the bag when we see, like, it says like, oh, let's slim down our fat dogs, and they've got this little thing around their waist. I'm not calling out a certain brand, I'm just calling out branding in general. Weight loss food is not something we want to feed. Essentially what it is it's empty calorie food. So you're gonna see something
filled with
plant cellulose. You're gonna see something called powdered plant cellulose. This is sawdust. This is essentially giving your dog the feeling of being full without the calories. This has no nutritional value. Your best bet, if you were to go to a dietitian, they would not tell you, you know what, just eat a whole bunch of sawdust, make it into granola bars, that's your meal. Have a blast, you're gonna lose weight. No, they tell you to eat smaller portions of healthy foods that are balanced and do a bit of exercise. So make sure that you're exercising your dog. It doesn't have to be like insane, just a walk is lovely. And then also make sure you're feeding a good food, just lower quantities. So the carbs that I just showed with the two comparison of the sugar and the actual food, we want to reduce our carbs because sugar equates to fat gain. Protein and fat as a macronutrient equates to muscle gain.
And energy.
So we want to lower our carbs, feed less. We want to feed to our ideal weight. If your dog's 60 pounds and they want to be 50 pounds, we don't feed them to that 60-pound range. They're going to stay 60 pounds. Feed them to 50 pounds. If they're still not losing weight after a couple of weeks, feed them a bit lower. They might have a lower metabolism. So that's kind of the best way to do it.
And powdered cellulose, like Ella talked about, and we've got some TikToks coming up around, like, what are these ingredients that are actually in the bag? Because powdered cellulose is sawdust, you guys. It is an insoluble fiber that cannot be digested by the body. So exactly like Ella said, they eat the sawdust in the food, they believe they are full, they are not full, they lose weight, and everybody goes, it's my weight loss food. No, it isn't. We've just filled the animal full of sawdust. This is not specific to just prescription foods, because non-prescription foods also have weight management foods.
Yes.
And if you flip that bag, you're going to see powdered cellulose. Powdered cellulose in a food is almost a guarantee that this is some sort of a weight management, weight loss food. They don't exist. It's portion control and exercise. And good healthy calories. Single ingredient treats or cruciferous veggies. But single ingredient treats, because we can control exactly what the treat is. The other key to weight loss, you guys, I'm writing a new blog about this, but the other key to weight loss is everybody has to be on the same page, so consistency. So I'm going to say that the acronym for this is PEC.
Peck?
Portion control,
Oh.
exercise, and consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency meaning everybody in the house has to be on the same page. Nobody can be sneaking scruffy some Cheetos under the table when nobody else is looking, because you're just going to defeat the purpose of us trying to help you lose weight. Lean is always best, so we want to make sure that they are at a healthy weight.
Perfect. So the person asking about Hills says, I have a Cavapoo, she's 3 months old, 4 pounds, she needs to gain weight, and that is the explanation of my vet. Recommended Hills brand with that amount of carbs so she can gain weight. Like I said, carbs will help you gain weight in a sense. They're going to help you gain fat, which is not healthy for dogs, right? If we're wanting to gain weight, we're wanting to gain muscle tone. So like I had to do with my puppy when she was young, you feed them more of a high quality food that's high in protein and fat. These equate to energy and to muscle, which is what we want to build. We do not want fat dogs. We do not want dogs with high fat body percentages. It's not good for them. We want dogs with muscle on them. So making sure that we're feeding that good quality food, not for weight loss. Weight loss, we go lower than what they're eating now. For weight gain, we go higher than what they're eating now. So just ump up those calories.
Yes, and I would question, I mean, like I said, lean is best, but we have become a society that when we see a lean or athletic dog, we're like, oh my goodness, feed that dog a cheeseburger because he's too skinny. He's probably not too skinny. We've just become accustomed to seeing dogs that are overweight. So if there's a couple things with weight loss, you guys, there's another TikTok coming up. When we look at them from the top down, we want to see that their little waist curves in. When we look at them from the side, we want to see that their little belly tucks up. Their ribs, if I put my hand out like this, I can feel my knuckles without having to press really hard. If I do this, make a fist, I can really feel my knuckles. And if I do this, it's a heck of a lot harder to feel my knuckles. This is an overweight animal. This is an underweight animal. And this is just right.
When you're feeling their ribs.
When you're feeling their ribs. So there are a lot of different tools that we can use for weight gauging, I guess. The scale is just one. If you can feel all the bones in your dog's body, like, or see them, your dog is probably underweight. If they're just not fat, they probably don't need to lose weight.
Why don't we do a couple more questions, then we might have to hop off because there's quite a lot.
Oh, is there?
We've got
They just keep coming.
quite a bit. Maybe, oh gosh. See, now we just...
Ella's a taskmaster, you guys. She just won't take the questions.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Okay, that one lady who was asking about the Yorkies has 9 in total.
Oh my goodness.
She's got a lot. You got a collection
That
there.
would be awesome.
That would be the
Little
life.
cheaters running around.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on Origin or Acana?
Champion is a good food, you guys. Origin is their top of the line. Acana is their low end. They're still a good food. So if you go on our website, again, we've got our kibble grading tool. You can figure out if you're actually feeding a grade A kibble. Grade A is the only kibble we want to feed if we're feeding dry.
Yeah, perfect. That jumps in with your opinion on Go Solutions. Go to that tool as well.
Same thing.
They say, I want the best for my pups, but we have a chicken allergy. Open Farm, all of their recipes except for puppy, senior, and the turkey and chicken are chicken free. So that might be a good option as well.
Same thing with carnivore. If you don't get the chicken, you don't get chicken in it. And so be very cautious about that because the big pet food manufacturers of the world who are a little unscrupulous in their manufacturing practices, they'll sneak chicken into that pork food or lamb. I don't know who eats that.
I was just like, yeah.
Okay, maybe I've answered too many questions.
Oh goodness. Okay, the same person is saying I tried raw and I can't get them to switch over. If you tried raw and that's kind of your end goal, your best option if they're not wanting to eat the raw would be carnivore. It has the same kind of nutrients as a raw food, same concept. It's just in a different form for dogs that don't want raw. So that would be your closest option. What do you think about Farmina? Same thing. Go to our little kibble grading tool. What grade is my kibble at the bottom of every page on our website. Just follow along. It's super quick and easy to do. Do cats require carbohydrates in their diet? No.
No furry guys do. Cats and dogs, when I say furry guys, I mean cats and dogs. No cats or dogs have any biological requirement for carbs. When they metabolize carbs, they turn to sugar. Sugar is what feeds disease. Eliminating or seriously decreasing carbs is our ultimate goal in their diets.
Yeah. The person who was asking about weight loss food, I believe, says he is on Simply Nourish Fit and Trim dog food. We don't like Simply Nourish.
Is Simply Nourish Rachel Ray's?
Yes.
Ugh.
There's been lots of recalls.
I
We
wish
don't
that
like them.
celebrities would use their powers for good.
I know.
And yeah, I know that before I was opening the store, one of my mom's friends reached out and said, hey, I saw Rachel Ray on a TV show and she's coming out with her own food. Maybe this will be a food you would carry. And so I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, I pulled it up and I went, hi. Never. So Simply Nourish, we want to move that baby off of Simply Nourish because that is McDonald's in a dumpster. So yeah, we want to, yeah.
Rachel Ray makes great food. She makes good recipes. She just doesn't make good dog food. Yeah. So, yeah, I would stay away from it. If you're wanting, like I said, those lower calories, just feed less of the premium quality food. Your
Which
brands,
you will anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll feed less on a premium food than you will on a traditional kibble anyways, because it is nutrient dense, because the body uses more of the food, less of it is coming out in your backyard, and we feed less. When you think about that, 50 to 70% of our traditional kibbles are carbs that the body isn't using. That means for every 2 cups you put in there, 1 cup is not being used by the body, and you're finding it in the backyard.
Can you recommend some brands, please?
We recommend every brand we sell. Yeah. But I say that jokingly, but I say that seriously as well. The reason that we recommend every single brand that we carry and we stand behind it 110% is because we believe in it. We thoroughly research everything that we bring into a store before we ever bring it in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we do not bring it in.
Yeah.
So the only kibble that we sell is Open Farm. We also have Honest Kitchen, which is one of the very few pet food manufacturers that are certified human grade. That's what we love about them. Carnivore is a raw alternative. It's an air-baked whole food nugget. Primal offers both a freeze-dried and a frozen raw version. Smack is a dehydrated raw food made right here in Canada, right beside us in Winnipeg. It is the only 5-star dehydrated raw food made in Canada. And then for our raw options, we've got Primal and we've got Bold by Nature, and the coming soon new raw food coming to you soon.
Yeah, that we can't spoil.
Look, I look tanned compared to you guys. Like, that's how pale you guys are.
We're extremely pale. Someone commented Spot and Tango. That's in the States, right?
I have never heard of Spot and Tango.
Neither have I. A lot of raw / air dried foods do not include fruits and veggies. Does this mean I should add it? Depends what brand. So we have Bold by Nature brand. They have a Select and a Mega line. Select does not have any fruits or veggies. It is meat, organs, bone, and tripe. Tripe is amazing. Tripe can balance the vitamins and minerals that we would see in fruits and veggies for a raw food. However, it has to be at a certain percentage, which I do not know off the top of my head. I think it's like 10% of the food. So a raw food that's like that, yes, that is fine. You're getting all your vitamins and minerals. However, if you're feeding a cheaper raw food that is just meat, organs, bone, you're not seeing any sorts of tripe or low levels of tripe and no veggies, you're gonna have to add something into it, and that becomes a whole lot harder. It is almost easier just to look for a food that already includes all of that and then do what's needed, unless you want to put in the work and the prep and the calculations that it takes to make sure you're adding in the right amounts of fruits and veggies
to balance the meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can't just go, oh, I'll do peas, carrots, and celery this time, because they all have different vitamins and minerals profiles, right? So if we're gonna have to use this much kale and this much of this and this much of that has to be every time to complete and balance it. And it depends based on which protein. If you're feeding chicken, you have to have different levels of veggie blend. So it gets confusing.
It's very precise.
And it doesn't have to be every meal every day does not have to be complete and balanced, but for the week you want to ensure that you have served a complete and balanced diet for the week. Again, I will not die if I pick today to go and eat nothing but McDonald's and Doritos and chocolate. Mm-hmm. I will not die. It's not great for me, but I'm not going to die from doing it, especially if the other 6 days of the week I do eat a complete and balanced diet.
And we're not going to see vitamin and mineral deficiencies from one day of eating something. We're going to see it over the course of a long period of time. We do want to avoid that, but 20% of the food can be unbalanced throughout your dog's life.
Yeah, or fresh. So if you want to, even if you are feeding a complete and balanced diet, which Ella feeds Rue the complete and balanced Bold by Nature, she still adds berries and veggies and supplements, because why not? Like, it's not doing harm, it's actually just doing more good.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I should have worded that like, do cats... Ooh, just keeps bumping me over. Do cats require grains or anything else like fruits or veggies? No. They just require protein and fat and then micronutrients. So they do not require grains or lentils or legumes or fruits or veggies at all.
They are obligate carnivores, meaning they need meat to survive. Yeah. So kitties, we want to ensure that they are getting a very high protein diet.
Yeah. Dogs are the ones that can get away with those bits of fruits and veggies there. That's actually good for them, a low percentage, like 5 or below is what we see in a raw food.
There are some kitties that do like some fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables. We have a customer, her little guy, which is Kitty, he wants banana every morning.
He likes banana.
It's not typical. Most kitties are a little bit more particular about what they eat, and they're not so much about the fruits and veggies, but some will.
We have another question. What about Farmina N and D? I want to switch my dogs to that kibble.
Yeah, I would say take a look at our kibble grading tool at the bottom of every page of our website and just make sure. My concern with Farmina is that they do use some controversial ingredients, one of them being the powdered cellulose that we just talked about in their weight management foods. And in some of their ingredients, or in some of their recipes, I don't know which ones, and I don't know if it's all of them, but they also use the synthetic vitamin K, which has been proven to do damage to organs. So that is a harmful ingredient. So that is why Farmina is not in our store.
How do you feel about Candy Source? It comes with a box. Comes in the box with handles. Any of the brands, I would say, check out our kibble grading
Candy
tool.
Source, you won't be able to use the kibble grading tool because it's a dehydrated raw.
Yeah.
I used to feed my little guy Candy Source, and I believed it was a very good food, and it was. And there was a transfer of ownership where the new owner was saying, hey, we could get a lot of these ingredients way cheaper if we weren't feeding, or if we weren't using these really high quality ingredients, and the quality of the food changed. I didn't realize that before I was in the industry. I didn't know the behind the scenes stuff. But Zayner started throwing up every month just randomly when he was eating his Candy Source. And once I learned about the change that had actually happened, which I wasn't told of, and most people wouldn't be, then I figured that probably was it. It's still better than a kibble, but the original intention of using these really high quality ingredients wasn't there anymore.
We're going to take like 4 more questions. On Facebook, we have a question. We bought some quail eggs last time I was in. How often should I give the boys one for them to get the benefit of them? For reference, they're like 10 to 20 pound dogs. So if you have a 10 to 20 pound dog, I'd say once a week. Once a week would probably be beneficial.
You could do it once a day. Really, with an egg, you could do it once a day.
But I guess they're the quail eggs. They're tinier. I wouldn't do like a chicken egg once a day. That would probably be too
That'd be too many calories for a big dog, you could do an egg a day. But even if you did like 3 eggs a week, I think you'd be good regardless. You just have to pick the right egg for the right size of the dog. Zayner is a 5-pounder. He could eat a quail egg. He often gets eggs when I eat, like when I'm eating eggs, he gets eggs throughout the week. But I could do 3 quail eggs a week with him. Yep. We just want to look at calories. Duck eggs are over 400 calories, so that's like 2 days worth of food for Zane. A chicken egg is around 70 calories, so that would be almost half of his caloric intake for the day. Quail eggs, he can get away with that. I would just cut back a little bit of his food.
Perfect. She's been doing 2 to 3 a week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like Ziwi Peak, air-dried food doesn't have any fruits or veggies, so I don't know if I should add some produce. Ziwi Peak is complete and balanced. That one you don't have to add produce to.
But it doesn't hurt if you do.
If you add fresh food, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
you think about it, if we're never adding fresh food to our pets' bowls and they're always eating a commercially made food, especially if it is dry, which Ziwi Peak is dry, unless we're adding some sort of hydration, that is an animal who will never eat fresh food. So adding fresh whole foods to their bowls, don't deprive them of that. Throw those fresh. It doesn't have to be every day, but when you're having strawberries for breakfast, give them some. You're having blueberries, give them some. Bananas, yogurt, your vegetables in the night, like when you're eating your salads or whatever, give them the ends of the cucumbers, the ends of the carrots, some bell pepper. Like, give them the things. Let them eat fresh food.
There we go. 20% can be off balance. I always thought it was 10. Yep, 20% can be off balance or fresh toppers or however you want to do that. It can be additions to a balanced meal. Is your store in Canada? If yes, can/will you ship to the USA? We are in Canada. We can ship worldwide depending on what you are ordering. So if you're wanting to do an order, call us. We can get figuring out like a shipping rate for you, and then you can tell us whether you want to proceed or not. Canada Post is a little bit more expensive for shipping, but we try to find the lowest rate we can. So yeah, definitely give us a call and we can get that sorted. I think that's probably it. Oh, and then they all load. Okay, we'll take Oh, there's two really good questions. I
Well,
really like
take
these
'em.
ones.
Where are you gonna be?
Nowhere. How did you guys become so knowledgeable in canine nutrition? Any books / sources you would recommend to learn from? You can take this one. Oh, okay. Anyways, so Carly, which you saw, she is certified in pet nutrition through pet nutrition and raw nutrition through Dogs Natural University. We have gone through the training stuff. We just don't have the actual little certificates. So we all follow that. Plus the Forever Dog.
So the Forever Dog, you guys, this is a book written by Dr. Becker and Rodney Habib, who we are part of their Inside Scoop group as well. The Inside Scoop is, they go live every Sunday. They teach us. We are nutrition junkies, so we are constantly learning. We also follow Dr. Connor Brady, the writer, the author of Feeding Dogs.
This is a wonderful book.
If
really,
you guys
good.
are feeding dry or have been considering feeding raw, get yourself a copy of this book. We also work closely with Dr. Ryan Yamka, who's a board nutritionist, a certified board nutritionist. We are sponges when it comes to nutrition. So it is both in store and out of store. We're pet nutrition junkies. We're a little bit addicted.
Yeah. Once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah, they're kind of, it's like Pringles.
That's good marketing for you to remember that. What are your qualifications a product needs to meet to be carried in your store? I think what is the qualifications a product needs to meet to be carried in your store? Very basic level would be we would feed or give or use it with our own pets. We see no issues. There's no controversial or harmful ingredients. It is only going to impact the dog positively. We don't want to bring in a product that is okay, like it's not going to harm them, but it really doesn't do any good for them. No, that it has no purpose. We don't need it in stores. So only the best of the best.
And that is, I know that a lot of stores say, we carry the best, we carry the best. We truly do. Like it is the best of the best. And it was something that I wanted to make sure that as a pet parent, anybody who walked in here, one, they had a trusted source of information regarding their pet's nutrition, somebody they could ask questions for. Two, I couldn't. Before I opened my store, I would go and I would ask questions and I couldn't get answers. So I wanted us to become that resource. You guys have maybe heard me say it. I keep saying we're a pet nutrition education center and we just happen to sell pet stuff. But I also wanted any pet parent to be able to walk in here and grab anything from our shelves, knowing that it will provide positive impacts for their animals, not having to decide between, should I do good, better, best? It is all best of the best. And we do that by design. Not only do we research everything that comes in that we are ever going to bring in, all of that stuff, we constantly monitor our existing brands. Because if they ever changed and it wasn't for the better, they will be replaced.
Yeah.
We have done it in the past.
Yeah.
We will do it again. So if our brands ever change and it's not for the better, they're gone, they will be replaced.
And we have very good relationships with our distributors, with our manufacturers. There is a very open door of communication going both ways. And that's something we look for, is those manufacturers that are just as passionate about the quality of every single ingredient. It doesn't matter if it makes up 90% of the food or 1% of the food. It has to come from the best source. There has to be a reason for it.
And transparent.
Yeah.
We want them to be just as transparent with us as we are with you. That was another part of our kind of overall House of Paws mission, was to create that transparency in the industry, draw back that curtain, and let you know exactly what's in your bowl. Because if we believed the big pet food manufacturers' marketing, we would all be feeding dried up crud in a bowl from birth until death and thinking that we're doing the best for our pets, when we know that a low grade and a mid grade kibble are not doing any good for our pets. We know this, so we can't have them here.
Exactly.
Not even the treats, you guys. Even our treats are healthy. We make sure that if they've got certain ingredients, we will not carry them.
Somebody wants to see the books again.
Oh, the books.
This is Feeding Dogs by Dr. Connor Brady. It's Feeding Dogs by Dr. Connor Brady. And The Forever Dog by, I'm totally
Dr.
blanking.
Becker and Rodney Habib. Oh my goodness.
I don't
We're
know
lucky
how
they're
that
not on
happened.
TikTok.
I know.
They are
Oh
on
my
Facebook,
gosh.
though.
The Forever Dog. The Forever Dog. Yeah. Sorry.
This is, you guys, this is what I refer to this as like the Bible of pet ownership.
Yeah.
This is going to tell you, basically they've broken the book down into an acronym, DOGS, and they talk about diet, now I'm blanking, oh my goodness, outside environmental stuff.
Like outside sources. I know what you're talking
Essence
about.
stressors. Anyways, you guys, DOGS is an acronym for how they've broken out the book into 4 different sections. They talk about different whole foods that we can include or why we would include them. They can talk about getting rid of those toxins, the environmental stressors that are out there, the ownership, the Bible ownership for dogs.
Yes.
For absolutely.
That would probably be like your intro. It is a little bit easier of a read than this one. This one's very sciencey, so if you like that stuff, go for it. If you're not someone who likes super sciencey things.
He also has a fantastic sense of humor,
He
though, and
does.
he brings that into the book.
He
you
totally
guys.
does.
It's a fantastic book, though, too.
But definitely
And
a good starting place would be Forever Dog, and then
he really makes you question, like, holy, why did we ever think that? About a lot of things. So it is a fantastic book as well. Dr. Becker also has some really good books that she had written previously. We like Dr. Judy Morgan too, Dr. Katie, the natural pet doctor. I mean, we really follow and learn from some of the top integrative holistic veterinarians in the world, whether we know them personally or not. They provide their information, a lot of their information for free. So those are great places to start.
Sorry.
What do we do? You're answering
I'm not
another
sure what
question.
else.
we've got a question. What supplements for high impact dog athletes? Cool. So my first pick actually would be this one. Passed off the wrong one. This is a green lipped muscle supplement. So for any dogs that are active, are doing high impact activities, or you are concerned about their joint health in the future, green lipped muscle. We love this. It's not like your traditional glucosamine or chondroitin, those types of basic plain supplements. Green lipped muscle goes into the joints and helps produce more synovial fluid. Synovial fluid acts as that cushion between the joints to prevent them from rubbing. When they start rubbing and grinding, that's arthritis. So we need to make sure we have a healthy amount of synovial fluid in the joints, which gets worn down by high impact activities. So,
There, my high impact Yorkie gets green lipped muscles every day.
He does.
Not because he has any joint issues, just as a preventative. That is part of his supplement rotation.
Exactly. Next one would be some sort of omega oil. Omega oils are also great for their joints. It is a high fat supplement, which is really, really good for energy sources as well. Omegas are really good for helping to repair cells as well. So I like that one. And then bee pollen. I love bee pollen. Bee pollen is a natural immunity booster. This one is also a really high protein supplement. It's a whole food supplement. This is a wonderful supplement for dogs that need that extra energy boost in their dog sports. And then bovine colostrum. This is a really great, this is the first milk of a cow. So full of antibodies, really, really wonderful supplement if we're wanting to boost immunity and performance and overall health in dogs. Yeah, that was exciting. I gotta pick all my favorite products.
Can you put, so you did that one. And thank you so much for asking our question. Uh-oh.
See, it does that.
Oh,
I don't know what it
jeez.
is.
Okay,
Oh, we did that, yeah.
let me correct myself. What supplements do you recommend? Oh, that's, you just did that. You guys carry or recommend the Honest Kitchen pate and stews? Yep, we do. No, we open Honest Kitchen. We love all of their products, so don't be afraid to buy Honest Kitchen. Take screenshot if can so fast.
For the books.
Oh, did we get that then? Okay. Thank you for all the great information you are sharing with us. You are very welcome. Will you hold up those up together for pick?
Maybe all of
The books?
Screenshot. Hang on. Who was that?
maybe all of these ones.
I don't know what they asked for.
maybe the books. The
Even
books
so
or
I guess
either-
if you missed it here, you can always whip over to our Facebook page because this will be posted to our Facebook page immediately. But then we also upload it to YouTube. So if you ever miss any of this, you can always grab it from our Facebook or YouTube.
So we've got a bee pollen, a bovine colostrum.
I want to make sure that yeah.
Fits on both. We have green lipped mussel by 4-leaf Rover. We love 4-leaf Rover. And then our final one is just a krill oil by Grizzly. They also make algal oil as well, which we really like.
Yeah.
So we do ship worldwide. Like I said before, just give us a call what you want. There is some restrictions on what we can ship, and cost of shipping sometimes plays into it. So we can get that figured out for you.
I saw that somebody sent a rose too, and now I don't know where to see who did that, but thank you for that. That was on TikTok. Roses are being sent, so thank you so much for that. That is probably, we've been going an hour and a half now.
Yeah, yes.
So thank you guys so much for spending some of your afternoon with us. Scooching. We need to figure out a way to get this so that we can all fit in here a little bit better. We hope that this is helpful. We're coming up with a bunch more ideas of all the things that we're going to do live for folks who are local to Regina. Of course, we're here till 6 p.m. tonight. We're here 11 till 6 tomorrow, closed on Sunday, back on Monday. Stay tuned for our great rescue race because that's going to be fun, you guys.
Yes.
And we've got some other things coming up. And be sure to stay tuned for what our new product is. So thank you so much, you guys, and have a fantastic day. We will see you
Next
either
Friday.
in store or next Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.